The hardest part after Guillain-Barré isn't the physical recovery. The hardest part is telling your story and hearing what people say after. They mean well, they say. But what comes out often sounds like judgment wrapped in positivity. At least you can walk again. You should be grateful it wasn't worse. Everything happens for a reason. God only gives you what you can handle. You need to stay positive. Negativity will slow your recovery. Other people have it worse than you. You look fine now, so you must be fine. And you just sit there thinking, maybe they mean well. But good intentions don't erase harm. How about something simpler, something more human? Like, that must have been terrifying. How are you coping now? Just a year after discharge, my dad passed away. And did people say, take care of your body, your health matters too? No. They chided me. My mother was grieving more. That I should take care of her first. That her pain mattered more than mine. Here I was, still recovering emotionally from an illness that nearly killed me, grieving the loss of my father. And instead of comfort, I received moral lectures about who deserved grief more. As if grief is a competition. As if my body hadn't already been through enough. As if I could pour from an empty cup. These are the ones who hide criticism under concern. Who rank pain and decide whose wounds deserve attention. Out of 10 people I've shared my story with, only 3 responded the right way. The other 7? I let them go. Because healing is impossible around people who keep reopening wounds before they've had a chance to close, turning every conversation into a fresh injury. Healing requires protection. And sometimes, protection means walking away from those whose words leave you feeling smaller, invisible, and misunderstood. There's a special kind of loneliness that follows a life-altering illness. Not the loneliness of isolation, but the loneliness of being surrounded by people who see your body moving and assume your life is back to normal. They don't feel the fatigue that makes a shower feel like climbing a mountain. They don't know the fear that now lives inside your body. The fear it could happen again. And when you open up, they rush to comfort themselves. You're strong. You should help others now. As if surviving made me some kind of inspiration robot. But when I speak of the terror, the paralysis, the grief of watching life continue without me, they grow uncomfortable. They want the triumphant comeback story, not the truth. They want me healed, cheerful, inspirational. But I'm still in the middle. And the middle is messy, grief, rage, fear, exhaustion. And yes, strength too. But not the kind that fits neatly into their version of recovery. That's when I realized. Some people don't want to witness pain. They want the Disney version of recovery. And when you stop performing it, they disappear. We don't need those people. I've stopped comparing illnesses and disabilities. I know people living with chronic pain, people in wheelchairs, people with invisible illnesses the world refuses to see. And they never say, at least it's not worse. They just understand. Because they've lived in a body that doesn't always cooperate. They know the dismissive platitudes disguised as comfort. They remind me, the people who minimize our pain have never lived inside our bodies and will never understand what it costs just to exist in them. Telling someone with Guillain-Barré, at least you can walk again, isn't kindness. It's minimizing trauma. It takes something terrifying, watching your body shut down, not knowing if you'd ever move again, and reduces it to, but you're fine now. That erases what we went through. It dismisses the lingering fear. It says, your grief isn't valid because you survived. When people say, at least it wasn't worse, they're really saying, your truth makes me uncomfortable. But my recovery isn't your gratitude exercise. Yes, I can walk. But I also spent 6 days unable to move or breathe on my own. That doesn't disappear just because I look fine. Toxic positivity doesn't heal. It silences. Real compassion doesn't rush to the bright side. It says, what you went through was devastating. You're allowed to grieve. You're allowed to be angry. You're allowed to still be scared. Recovery isn't a finish line. People think once you look normal, you are normal. But Guillain-Barré doesn't work like that. The body may recover. The nervous system remembers. I still flinch when my hands tingle. I still panic when my legs weaken. I still grieve the person I was before my body betrayed me. And I refuse to pretend I'm all better to make others comfortable. True recovery isn't about returning to who you were. It's about integrating what happened into who you are now. When we fake being fine, we hurt ourselves. And the ones still struggling in silence. Medical trauma is real trauma. What we went through wasn't just physical, it was existential. So who are these people to tell us how to feel? To quote platitudes they barely understand, just to quiet what they can't face? Positivity without space for pain isn't positivity, it's suppression. And I refuse to suppress my truth for anyone. Here's what I've learned. You don't owe anyone your recovery story. Not to inspire, not to prove, not to reassure. Your healing isn't a performance. It's not up for judgment. You get to choose who deserves to hear your story and revoke that right when they stop listening. Healing isn't linear. Some days you're strong. Some days you're back in that hospital bed in your mind. And that's okay. What's not okay is letting people who've never lost control of their bodies tell you how to reclaim yours. So let's be kind, but let's also be clear. No one gets to define your recovery. You have the right to grieve, to rest, to protect your peace. You have the right to heal on your own terms. Because real healing begins the moment you stop performing recovery for others and start honoring the truth of what you survived.